Thank you so much for class. Today is an exciting one because we are using one of the brand new Satin Ice products, which are called Isomelts. And first, before we begin, I'm going to do a little introduction on what the product is and how to use it. And then we'll get started in today's project. Today's project are these really adorable Christmas tree toppers that are made from the Isomelts. And then we are going to just stick them into the cupcakes and they make a beautiful holiday dessert. We can switch over to the overhead camera and then we can go through some of the supplies and then we'll talk a little bit about Isomelts. So today I have a microwave, which is over on my left side here. It's kind of hidden. You're not going to really see it much. I do have a silicone mat. This is very important for today's class because this is what we're going to be pouring the hot Isomalt on. And this allows it so that it's kind of like a heat protectant for your table, and the Isomelts don't stick to that. You'll be able to easily take it off. So I have the silicone mat here. I have food color gel in the gold color for our stars. I have a gold luster brush. This is going to give us that pretty gold detail that we have brushed over each of the trees. I have two of the different Isomelts. I have the green and the clear. So this is what we're going to be coloring with that gold food color gel. Don't mind that it's open. I had this one ready to go. I had used some of it before. I have a little paring knife. This is just going to help us shape the Isomelts into trees once we pour it onto the mat. I have some Lollipop sticks. We are going to actually attach the trees to these and then use those to stick them into the cupcakes. I have some scissors, the Satin Ice ready to use buttercream frosting, which is also, it's a semi-new product. And then we also just added in the pre-colored buttercream. So you'll see those at your local Michael's as well. And then I have a spatula to scoop out the buttercream, some cupcakes, and another really important supply for today are these silicone measuring cups. So these are a heat safe container to melt your Isomelts in. And what's nice too is later on, once the Isomelts cool and we have to put them away, you'll see that you can easily squeeze these and then the Isomelts will release and you'll be able to easily clean these out and store your extra Isomelts. So these are just silicone measuring cups. You can definitely find these at Michael's as well. I also have a chef torch, or you might know it as a creme brulee torch. This is to help heat up the Isomelt after we've poured it in case it starts to dry, or to reheat it to attach the star to the tree as we work, but we can talk about this more as we go along. I have some toothpicks. These are also just a good tool to have to like move around the melted Isomelts. And I also have a disposable piping bag. That's going to be for us to pipe the buttercream on the cupcakes. This is also a very, very important supply. Isomalt is very, very hot when it's melted. So you need to really have caution when handling it. I like to wear the cotton gloves as an extra protection. And then over the cotton gloves, I have vinyl, or you could use like the latex-free gloves to go over those. So that's definitely very handy. So we just went over all the supplies. So now I kind of just want to talk a little bit about what Isomelts are. You guys can let me know in the chat if you guys have ever used Isomalt before, or if you're totally new to this. It's not something to be afraid of. I know that you can see some very extravagant designs on TV when you're watching, but it's really a fun product because you can make all of these different hard candies, you can flavor, you can color it, you can pour it into silicone molds and all of that. I just want to talk a little bit about what Isomelts are and how it's different than regular Isomalt crystals. So Isomalt normally comes in crystal form, which is another Satin Ice product that we already have. And I'll show you what it looks like. It's very, very fine crystal that's almost like a sugar, because Isomalt is actually a sugar replacement. I believe it doesn't have any sugar in it. So a lot of people who have to be sugar-free consume this product, but you'll see that regular Isomalt are these little crystal granules. And To cook this down, you actually have to put it onto a stove and you have to temper it to a specific temperature so that it performs like it's supposed to before using it. So you'd have to have your pot over the stove with a thermometer to make sure that it gets to the specific temperature, and then you'll be able to use it. So to help the beginners with Isomelts and to just save some people time, Satin Ice came out with Isomelts, which is just a little play on the name, but basically what Isomelts are, they're pre-tempered Isomalt nibs. So all you have to do is melt these in the microwave and then you're ready to decorate. Whereas you don't have to put them over the stove and get them to a specific temperature. You can also cook these over the stove if you want, but you don't have to cook them to a specific temperature. So they come in these little nibs. We have the colors that are currently available right now at Michael's are the clear, the green, the pink, blue, red, and I don't know if I said clear, and the clear. Yellow will be coming soon, and this product is actually exclusive to Michael's right now, so that's where you'll be able to find it. I do have my FAQ sheet here to go over all the necessary things as we go on, but please ask questions as we move through the project if I haven't hit anything. So like I said before, the Isomelts are just a play on a name for Isomalt nibs. So these are already pre-tempered. You don't have to get them to a specific temperature. They're ready to go for us to microwave and then start creating things. So I might have said this earlier, but you can create a lot of different things with Isomalt. You can do cake toppers, lollipops, you can make hard candies.
Question.
Yes, what is the question?
Can you eat them without heating them?
So you won't really want to eat them without heating them because these don't have a flavor to them. So it's kind of just, you'll just be having like a hard candy without flavor. But I would definitely melt them and then put them into a design or a lollipop, and you can add flavoring while it's melted. Today, we won't be adding flavor because these are just cupcake toppers. But that's something you can definitely do. Michael sells Loran oils, and that's what you would want to use to the flavors that they sell to flavor these Isomelts. And you can just add a little bit at a time, and then you can pour some out on the mat, let it cool, and then taste test it to see how the flavor is. Let's see. What else can I say? So you can color and flavor the Isomelts. You can actually mix colors together if you want with the pre-colored ones. And then the other beautiful thing about this product is that after you're done with it, if you have leftover, you can save it for later and you can reheat this product again and again. So that's another really good thing. But I think we can get started. And as you guys think of any questions, you can just put them in the chat and then hopefully I can answer them for you.
Somebody said, I don't see any molds. Can you use molds?
Yes, so you can definitely use molds, but you want to make sure that you're using silicone molds. Because this is a very hot product, you don't want to use like a plastic mold or anything like that. Today, we are going a little abstract and we are not using any molds. We are going to just be pouring the Isomelt and shaping it. And it might seem a little daunting, but as you do it more and more, I promise it's not super hard. And the more you practice, the better you'll get. These trees aren't going to look super perfect because we're not putting them in the mold, but you'll see the more you do it, the better they'll look. I do have molds with me though, so if I have time at the end of class, I will show you how easy it is to pour it in the mold, and then within a couple minutes it's set and you can demold it. Okay, so first I'm putting on my cotton layer of gloves. This is going to help protect from the heat. What's
bracelet? I wasn't able to get silicone measuring cups. What else can I use?
Okay, so someone asked if they don't have silicone measuring cups, what else can they use? In the past, I've used Pyrex measuring cups, just like this. I have one over here. I would make sure that it is a Pyrex brand because this material is very good for withstanding heat. The only thing that kind of stinks about this as opposed to having the silicone cup is that at the end, when you have leftover in here, you're gonna just kind of have to run it under hot water until it disintegrates. You can, whatever you have left in here, you can microwave it and melt it down and pour it onto the silicone mat as a slab and then break it into pieces and then save it that way. But this is your other option. I would say a Pyrex measuring cup. Okay, so to get started, make sure you have your cotton gloves on and your either your vinyl or latex-free gloves. So I'm just layering these up and then we are going to start melting down the Isomelts and you'll see how fast it all comes together. So I'm just clearing off my space a little bit. Okay, so first we are going to be making the tree shape. So I have my silicone measuring cup and I'm going to open up the nibs, the Isomelt nibs. And then we are going to heat this up in 20 to 30-second intervals at a time until it's completely melted. And I'll show you after each stage of how it begins to melt. So I'm just going to put, I'm really just eyeballing how much I put in here. If I have leftover at the end, we'll just be able to plop it out and save it for later. So have them in my measuring cup. I'm going to open up the microwave and I'm going to put it in for 30 seconds. Uh-oh, my microwave plugged in? Okay, there we go. Okay, why isn't it coming up? Hold on, guys. This needs to go. Wasn't plugged in all the way. Hopefully it stays like that. Okay, we're in business. So we're gonna microwave it for 30-second intervals. Getting stuck. Some gloves. All right, so while this is microwaving, oh, here we go, it's ending. So as you can see, after 30 seconds, it's not melted yet, but you can feel the cup that it's starting to get warm. And I just like to give them like a little jiggle just to make sure, move around a little bit, and I'm gonna put them in for another 30 seconds. So as I'm melting that, I can talk more about the chef torch here. So this has a little bit of a flame. So you want to be very cautious when you're using this and when you're working with Isomelts because it gets very hot. But basically, this is used to reheat a piece of Isomelt or to make it melty again so that you can attach another piece. Another reason why this is used is actually when you take something out of a mold, it might have a little bit of like a cast over it, or you might see some air bubbles. And if you lightly go over the piece with the torch, it will help create a really clear, shiny finish. So this is a really nice tool to have when working with Isomalt. And I might use the term Isomalt and Isomelt interchangeably. It's the same thing. Isomelts are Isomalt. It's just a fun name because they're in ready to go nib form. So you can see here that it's starting to melt. So I'm going to plop it in there again for another 30 seconds. And we're going to melt these down just until bubbles start to form and it's completely liquefies. So I can see that there are some bubbles forming, but I also see that there are still some whole pieces of the nibs. So I'm just going to move it around a little bit just to make sure everything is melting evenly. And it should just take probably one more pass through. So I kind of like to describe Isomelts as the candy version of candy melts or chocolate wafers, because it's ready to go. All you have to do is heat it up and you're ready to pour into the silicone molds or do some free flowing designs. You might see on some cakes like the Isomalt sails, which are like these really cool abstract designs. That's another fun thing that you can do with this product. Okay, so we're ready to go. This is bubbling now. You can let it settle for like about like 30 to 60 seconds just to help the bubbles start to settle so that you don't have a bunch of air bubbles when you do pour it out. So you can see all the bubbles. They'll slowly start to dissipate. Okay, it's getting better already. So now what we're going to do, and this might take some practice as you pour because as it's really hot, the Isomalt is very liquidy. And you could do practice runs. You could just pour some into circles or whatever, just to get the feel of how it comes out of the measuring cup. But what we're aiming to do today is create a triangle shape when you pour it. So just do slow and steady. And because if it comes out too fast, then you're not going to really be able to trace a shape. So I'm just slowly going to start pouring it out. And I'm going to create a nice triangle shape on the smaller side, nothing too large since these are cupcake toppers. And if it starts to get a little wonky, that's okay, because as it starts to set, we're going to be able to kind of shape it into a cleaner triangle. So I'm just going to keep creating these triangles on my silicone mat. I might do like 3 at a time. This way I can repeat the process. And it's okay if some drips happen along the side. Just ignore those. And I'm just slowly pouring to create a triangle shape, and it kind of just floods together. And then the rest of this, I'm just going to put to the side onto the silicone mat where it's heat protected. And as this sits, it's going to start to solidify again, but that's fine. You can just plop it back in the microwave again to liquefy it. So you can see here, my triangles are starting to get a little wonky, but that's okay. I'm going to use my little paring knife, or you can use like an offset spatula. I might have one, yeah. Or an offset spatula to help shape the sides. So as it's starting to cool, you'll be able to kind of push on the sides to shape it to a straight edge. If it's still too hot, it might get a little stringy. So it might get a little hard for you to do that. But just right there, I was able to shape that into more of a straight edge triangle. And I'm just going to continue to do that to each one. And you'll notice already that it's already starting to set. I would say it depends on the size of the piece that you're making and how thick it is. So everything's going to have a little bit of a different drying time. But while these are still hot, I am going to start making the edges on the tree, which are these little edges. And all they are just little indents using your knife. And you might have to repeat them because this is the Isomalt is still warm, so it might flood back into itself. But you can just start, I start at the top and I make a little dent along the side going down just to make the shape of the tree. So I do that on one side, and then I'm going to start on the other. So I'm just dragging the spatula with aluminum, and I'm just making the edges along the sides of the trees. And like I said, if it starts to mold back into itself, you can just go over it again and again. I wonder if I can bring this down more so that you guys can see. Okay, hopefully that allows you guys to see a little better. So we're going to move on to the next one. I start at the top and I just drag the knife or the spatula into the sides to create that tree shape. And I just want to show you what I would do if this got too cool and I wasn't working fast enough. That's when I would take the torch. Again, you want to be careful with this. I like to see where the flame is at before I do it. So what you would do is you would just like lightly pass over it with the torch, and that's going to heat it back up and make it malleable again. So now again, I'm just using the edge of my knife to create a straight edge and just to get it into a cleaner triangle shape. And then I'm going to use the edge and just go in and make those indents to create the tree shape. And then what I liked to do is I did like a little bit of a texture just going up the middle with the tip of the knife, just to kind of make like these like little indent lines while it's still a little warm, and it just gives a little bit of a texture to the tree. And as these dry, I'll pick them up to show you closer. But again, if the Isomalt is still too hot, it will start to mold back into itself. So you might have to just go over and do the texture again. But these are looking pretty good. It will take probably another minute or two until I can completely get these off the mat, but you'll know when it's cooled and ready to come off the mat because it's going to just release really, really easily. If I was trying to do it now, I can see that the middle is still trying to stick to the mat, so it's not ready yet. Same with these guys. This one's starting to a little bit. And now this one, the one that I reheated again with the torch, I can see that it's kind of flooding back into itself. So I'm just going to go back around and make more of those lines and textures. And again, if you were to find a silicone mold that's a Christmas tree, you can totally do that instead. This is more of an abstract way to do it and a way to do it without having all these different tools. I think it's fun and a little bit creative because not everyone's going to look the same. But you could see I was able to just kind of put my spatula underneath this and it picked up from the mat really easily. And this is what it looks like. So moving the spatula in the sides created the texture on that tree on the sides, and then I used the edge of the knife to kind of give some lines going up and down to add some extra texture. Let's see if this one's gonna come up. And then as you release them from the mat, you can just place them to the side and we can do another round. This one's still setting up a little bit. But we can look at how our isomelts look right now. So as I start to turn it a little bit, you can tell that it's cooling because it doesn't want to pour as fast and it looks thicker. But the cool thing about the silicone cups is, watch this, like at the end, when you're trying to clean up all of this on the side, it's just going to peel off easily. It doesn't want to stick to the silicone. So that's why it's a lot easier to use these measuring cups, because at the end you can take this whole slab out once it cools and you can save it for later. So in order to do more trees, I'm going to have to heat this up. So I'll probably do 30 seconds and it will probably be good to go. See if this one's ready to come up. The other thing I want to mention too is that it's okay if you have it could get a little stringy as you're pouring, or if you're pouring and then you stop pouring, there might be a little string of sugar. As that dries, you can just easily break it or move it to the side. Okay, that one easily released. So this one's good. This is done heating. And it's ready to go. So again, we can make more trees. You can make them different sizes as well. You could do a larger one, a small one. It's nice to do that for the cupcake toppers, to put 2 on 1 and kind of alternate them. So let's see, I'll try making a bigger one. So again, you just want to slowly pour and create a triangle shape. Just do an outline and then slowly fill it in, and it's going to just flood into itself. And again, don't worry if the triangle shape starts to get wonky, you can fix it as it starts to cool. I could do a smaller one now, or try to. So you're just going to slowly pour, make a triangle outline, and then slowly fill it in. And you'll also know if it's getting too cool, because you'll have to, it will be too thick to pour out of the cup. Okay, so you'll see this one over here, it doesn't look like a triangle anymore at all. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start just kind of shaping it into one, but it's a little, see how it's kind of getting stringy here? I think it's still too hot, so I'm just going to let it sit. Probably this side's better. So I'm just going to kind of push it and mold it into more of a triangle shape. This one's going to be a little bit of a skinnier one. We'll let that sit for a little while, and then we'll go to this one. Again, we're just using the edge of this offset spatula. We're kind of just molding it to a straight edge. And if I'm not being clear on anything, please let me know. But as these are cooling, that's when you're able to start to really manipulate them, because when they're too warm, it's not going to want to cooperate with you. It's going to spread. And as you work more with this, you'll start to see what I'm talking about with like the texture of it and how it feels. And you might have to just kind of like move, like as these are cooling, they're going to start to spread a little bit too. So you might just have to go back around again and again until it stops spreading. Okay, so these are looking pretty good. So again, I'm going to start at the top, and I'm just going to make these little indents along the side to form the shape of the tree. That on that side. And then we'll move to the right and we'll repeat that same process. Now, let's say this got too cool and I wasn't able to do this and I didn't have a blowtorch. If you don't want to work on 3 at a time, you can work on 1 at a time, but say that this one got too cool and I can't work on it anymore and I don't have a torch to make it warm again, you can just take it off, put it back in your bowl, reheat it, and try again. It might be better to work on 1 at a time, especially if you're new to this, and this way they don't cool too fast on you. So go to the next one. We'll start forming the tree shape on this. So I'm just indenting along the sides. And again, you can add flavor to this once it's heated. Today we are not, but you can add flavors, and then while it's melted, and then you can pour it into Lollipop molds. And they taste really, really good. I think they also sell this powder at Michael's that's like a sour candy powder, so you could incorporate that as well. Okay, so at this point now, I'm just going to make those line textures just to add some texture to the tree. You don't even have to do this part if you don't want to. I just think it adds some nice texture and realness to the tree. And again, if it's too hot and it's kind of not taking the texture, you can just go over it again until it does. These ones are looking pretty good. If you guys want me to do one more round of trees, I can. If not, I can start with the way we're going to make the stars. Okay, so we're just going to wait a little bit to release this. But again, you'll see here that since this is a silicone cup, I'm able to just peel that away. It's still warm, but if it was solidified all the way, it would kind of just crack like glass. And you would easily be able to take it out. Okay, so let's see if I can get these guys off. They're still a little warm. In my other silicone cup, I'm going to pour my clear Isomelts. We don't need that many, because we are making stars, and the stars are going to be really tiny. I will say the stars are the trickiest part. So that might take some practice to get those as well. But I have faith that you'll be able to do it. Okay, so these are still, this one's able to come off, I think. Still too, okay. So here's this one. And here's like a strand of sugar. I don't even know if you guys can see that, but you could just break that off. This one's still warm. I'm still able to make little indents in it. All right, here's this one. So we'll make the stars next, and then we will put on the gold details and attach the stars to the trees, and then attach the trees to lollipop sticks. Okay, so I have my clear Isomelts in my silicone cup, and I'm just going to put them in the microwave again. 30 seconds until we melt those down. While we're waiting for those to melt, I can go over how to store a creation that you've made with the Isomelts. So after it's been set and it's cooled and ready to go, you can put it in an enclosed container, room temperature, like a Tupperware, and you can even get the food safe desiccant pouches, and that can help just keep moisture out, because Isomalt doesn't like moisture. If it has moisture, it's going to break it down. Like if you put this cup under running hot water, it's going to disintegrate the Isomalt. So I also don't recommend storing any of your pieces in the refrigerator because of the condensation. So this is starting to melt. I'm going to put it back in for another 30 seconds. Some other common questions regarding Isomalt is, how can I reduce the air bubbles in it? And that's mainly, a lot of the times that's found when you're pouring it into a silicone mold, or like a mold that has like a deeper cavity, because the bubbles will be in there. So when you release it from the mold, you'll be able to lightly brush over it with this flame, and it's going to get rid of the bubbles, and it's going to create a really clear and shiny finish. No question? Okay. Okay, so it's starting to melt. You'll see that there's bubbles starting to form, but I still see some of the Isomelt nibs that haven't been melted yet. So I'm just going to move it around a little bit. And I think one more 30 seconds will finish that off. So today we are going to color the Isomelts, and when you're coloring them, You want to use gel food color, which you can also find all of the Satin Ice food color gels at your local Michael's as well. For the stars, you can use whatever color you like. I'm using gold today. Yep. Oh, it's freezing. Okay, so the clear is completely melted. You'll see all those bubbles.
How do you get the Isomelts off of the Pyrex once it's hardened?
Okay, so like I said before, the best material to use is silicone, but I understand if you don't have silicone, I had recommended the Pyrex measuring cups. So it's harder to get the isomalt off of that because it's glass and it's kind of attaching itself to it. It's not a flexible material, so you can't break it off. So what I recommend doing is if you have leftover in the glass, you would want to melt it. So it's all melty in the cup, and you want to pour all of your leftover isomalt that's in that measuring cup onto your silicone mat, and then let that cool. And then you can break it into pieces that will fit back into your isomelt bag or a Tupperware. And then to get any of the remainder isomalt out, you would want to just run it under hot water, let it sit with hot water and soap. And then that should do the trick. So I'm just going to put 1 drop of the gold food color gel, and that should be good enough. And then I'm just going to actually use a lollipop stick to stir this up. You might notice that when you put your food color gel in, it might sizzle a little bit, and I think that's just the moisture from the food color gel hitting the hot isomalt. Okay, so now my food color gel is completely combined into the melted isomalt. So now we're gonna have like a nice little gold color for the stars. Could also do yellow if you want. All right, so the stars are a little tricky. Sometimes it takes me a little while to get the hang of it if I haven't done it in a while. But I'll show you my technique. If you have too hard of a time creating the stars out of the isomalt, you can even cut out a really small star from fondant and attach it to this if you want. But I wanted to show it with the isomalt. So here we go.
You name what was the brand that you said, the flavoring?
Oh, so for the flavoring, if you want to flavor this, I recommend the Loran oil-based flavorings. You'll see those in Michael's. They have a nice range of flavors. So I'm just going to pour a little dot here. Not anything too big. Okay, so now I'm going to take my toothpick and I'm just going to drag the isomalt. I'm going to kind of shape it. So I'm going to drag up to create a point. I'm going to drag left to create a point. I'm going to drag down diagonal to the left and then down diagonal to the right. And then I'm going to pull some to the right as well. And that's kind of creating your star shape. And once you get it, just try not to manipulate it anymore because you might mess it up. Less is best. These are going to look a little abstract and that's okay. And like I said, this is going to take some practice. So we'll just keep doing these. So you don't want to do too big. You don't want to pour too big of a blob because then you'll have too big of a star. So you just slowly pour out a nice little circle of isomalt, and I'm just dragging to the top, to the left, down to the left, down to the right, and then to the right to create all the points on the star. And if you mess up one, that's fine. Just leave it there and start another one. So again, you just want to slowly pour some out, create a little dollop, and then start dragging your points. So up to the left, down diagonal to the left, down diagonal to the right, and then to the right. So you have all the points of your star. And that's the beauty of Isomelt too. If you mess up, you could just remelt it again and again and try over as many times as you need. So I'm going to try to make a smaller one. The smaller ones are trickier. So I'm going to try to pour a really small amount. And I'm gonna start dragging up. And since this is using like a small amount of Isomalt, you'll find that these are gonna dry faster, or they're gonna set faster, so it might be a little hard. Like this star, that's not gonna work. It's too wonky looking. So I'm gonna just let that sit there. Once it dries, I'll remelt it again. So I'm gonna just heat this up again for like 10 seconds just to get it a little warmer because it was starting to cool.
Made, how long will it last? It's stored properly.
Isomalt has a very, very, very long shelf life, so it will last a very long time as long as it's stored properly. Like I said, it helps to store it with a little food safe desiccant pouch to help get rid of any humidity or moisture. So as long as it's stored right, it will last you a very long time. So you can pre-make your toppers and stuff like that and save them for whenever you need them. Okay, so I'm gonna pour a little blob. And start forming the star. You do want to move a little quickly just because, like I said, we are using smaller amounts of the Isomalt, so it's going to set faster. And since we are making these by hand like this, they are going to look a little abstract, but I think that's okay. So I'm just going to make a couple more. And for these, especially, you want to do one at a time because it will cool too fast. I know they also sell little sprinkles that look like stars. So if you wanted to get that and attach it to your Isomalt star trees, you could do that too. Let's do another one. So I'm just pouring a little blob. And I'm just moving. I'm dragging the melted Isomalt with the toothpick in different directions to create the points on the star. And this does take practice. It's not easy to get the hang of it right away. So some of these might come out good, some of them might not. Everyone is different. This one's looking a little, this one might not be a good one, yeah. Okay, I'm gonna make one more and then we'll get to the next step. So I'm just gonna pour a little blob. Drag up, drag to the left, drag down to each side, and then drag to the right to create all the points on the star. And you might see on my mat all of the little pieces of sugar. That's just because as I'm pouring, there's little strands, but that's okay. All right, so we can go back to some of the original ones that I did and release them from the mat. This one's probably set. So you'll see like this one is a little abstract looking, but it's a star. That's gonna be good. So use that for one of the bigger trees. Here's another one. So as these cool, they easily release from the mat. And these ones cool a lot faster because we're using a small amount of the Isomalt. So that one's not a good one. Okay. So we have our stars and our trees, and the next part is attaching them to, so I think what I want to do first is I want to attach the trees to the lollipop sticks. And to do that, I'm going to flip them all over so that the front of it is face down onto the mat. like this. And then I have my lollipop sticks. I don't have the short ones, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut them in half so that they aren't too tall for to stick into the cupcakes. So I'm just gonna break some of these in half so that they're shorter. Okay, so I'll show you how to attach these. So this is where the torch comes into hand. This is a very important tool because it's used a lot, because you often have to reheat the isomalt. So first, I'm just going to give it a little test. You want to make sure there's nothing around that's flammable, and you want to be working on your silicone mat. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to lightly hover over this to make this warm again so I can stick the lollipop stick onto the back of this. So I'm just gonna get it nice and melty. And I'm just gonna stick the stick onto that and it's gonna attach like that. So I'll repeat this and you'll see how glossy it gets. Like you could start to see that there's some air bubbles in this. And then when I pick this up, you're gonna see how glossy it gets from putting the heat on it. Okay, so this one's next. You don't want to get too close to it because you don't want to melt it all the way so that it becomes a blob, just enough so that it heats up so you can attach the lollipop stick to it. Sometimes this is finicky. Okay. That. Do the others. Like I said, you're heating it just enough so that the stick will attach to the isomalt. I don't know why this is doing this. Okay, one more. My torch is being a little bit finicky. But I like to get the flame up before I do it because I don't know how big it's going to be. It might be out. It's okay. I'm just gonna, so we have all of the rest attached. This last one just won't be attached. So you'll see here how nice and glossy it is from the heat. And they look like glass. They look beautiful. So I'm just gonna flip them over. And now we're going to add our stars to the tops of these. And now I actually might just have to add some extra butane to the torch. Okay, hopefully that works. Let's see what happens. Okay, we're back. Okay, so to attach the stars, we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to just focus on the top of the tree. So we're just going to hit the top, not too much so that it's going to melt away, just enough to heat it so that we can attach the star to the top. So you'll want to just have your star ready. Torch the top. Attach your star. This one's too finicky too. Okay, now that this is fixed, I'm going to attach the other lollipop stick to it. Hit the sides to work. These trees would look cute without stars too, so whatever you choose. I'm going to attach that last star. This one looks very abstract.
Question.
Okay.
I'm not sure if you mentioned it.
Mm-hmm.
Can you pour the hot isomalt onto the lollipop and then shape it?
I think it would be too hard because as the isomalt is hot, unless you're pouring it, if you're pouring the isomalt into a silicone mold, it's going to contain its shape inside the mold, so then you can add the stick right away. But when you're free-handing a design, I think it's best to add it at the end, because unless you're just making a circle lollipop, you could do it then. But I think since we're shaping these a lot and it tends to spread, it might not work as well. You can always try it, but I don't know if it's going to work as well. So the next part, and this is optional, I wanted to add a little bit of a gold detail. So I'm using, you're welcome. I'm using the Satin Ice Gold Luster Brush. So this is just like a nice liquid luster. I'm not going to add a ton of it since this is a liquid. I don't want it to eat away at the isomalt. But I'm just going to kind of dry brush a little bit of it on. So first with the luster brush, this is a brand new one, so I like to shake it really well in case there was any separation in the cartridge. And I'm just going to start twisting, and I like to twist it away from my creation into a painter's palette because it will splatter a little bit. And it's going to take a few twists just to get it down since this is a brand new luster brush. Here we go. So we have some coming out. So all I'm going to do, I'm not going to take a ton, just a little bit, just to add some nice gold highlight along, and it's going to really bring out that texture that we created. You can even add some on top of the stars to add some extra shine. I'm not sure if it's coming up. Yeah, there we go. So I'm just taking a little bit and I'm just brushing it up on the tree. This is totally optional. I just think it adds a nice shine and finish. You don't want to use a ton, like I said, because this is liquid and I don't want it to eat away at the isomalt. Okay. And the shimmer really brings out the texture that we added to the trees. Okay. So our trees are finished. And the next part is just placing them on top of our cupcakes. So we're going to be using the Satin Ice Ready to Use Buttercream, which is absolutely amazing. It's a nice bright white color. It has a vanilla flavor. Since it does have a vanilla flavor, it's a nice base to add different flavors as well to create something unique. Like you can add peanut butter, you can add cocoa powder, cream cheese. We have a ton of recipe ideas on satinice.com. So it comes in this tub like this, and it's ready to go out of the pail. You don't have to do anything other than give it a little stir, but it's really nice and smooth. So I'm just going to give it a little bit of a stir. And I'm going to transfer it to my piping bag. And what's really nice about this is that it's the perfect consistency enough to pipe. Okay.
If you wanted to get fancy and do like fall decorations,
Mhm.
would that be your suggestion?
So if you wanted to add like ornaments to the trees, you can pour like very little dots of isomalt with different colors, kind of like how this was just a random drop from my isomalt that happened earlier. I don't even know if I could pick it up properly. Hold on. Like this, and then you can attach them, or you can even get like those little sprinkled pearls and attach them that way. You can just heat the isomalt with a torch while it's hot, just attach the sprinkles that way.
But also, can the lollipop be stored in bags without sticking?
Yes. Anyone who makes the lollipops always store them in the lollipop bag. So just obviously make sure that they're set before you do that, and they should be completely fine. So I have my buttercream in my piping bag, and I'm not using any piping tip. We're just going to do some simple piping on top of the cupcake. I'm just going to cut straight across the edge. And kind of just going to be like snow. We're just going to do some little simple dollops like this. But you can get as fancy as you want. You can even use these trees to decorate a cake as well along the top, like a little winter wonderland. So I'm just doing a simple pipe onto these cupcakes. And then we'll stick our trees in. Okay. Put that to the side. All right, so now what you can do is you can put one tree in each. You could put two if you have a smaller one and a larger one. So I'm just going to stick the lollipop stick in gently. And it's like this. It's so adorable. So I'll show you how you could do a large one and a small one together. You can kind of stagger them. So I'm going to put one toward the back. And then I'll put a smaller one toward the front. This. And then I also wanted to mention, if say your lollipop, say the tree falls off of the lollipop stick, you could just reheat it again to attach it. Same thing with the star. Thank you. I think these are really fun. They're a little abstract, creative, and they're really good for the holiday season. Okay. So the next ones, I just have two little small ones left. So I'm just going to stick those in. And like I said, you can pre-make these ahead of time so that you don't have to do this all in one day and store them in a Tupperware and then stick them into your cupcakes or cake whenever you're ready. You can actually just even leave these straight up as lollipops if you flavored the Isomalt as well. You can just create freehand lollipops like that. But I think if you guys enjoyed this class, I can do another Isomalt class another day where we're pouring into molds or maybe making flavored lollipops and stuff like that. But you can get a lot of different really cool molds like jewels and pour them in. And it's so easy. You're just going to pour it into the mold, let it set and plop them out and they're ready to go. So using molds with the Isomalts are definitely the easiest and most convenient thing to do. But you can also just do freehand creations as well. You want another Isomalt class? I'll definitely have them. My next class scheduled is, I believe it's December 14th, which is a Thursday. And that's another Christmas cake and it's very adorable. We're going to be decorating a cake with buttercream. So we'll go over how to layer the cake, how to frost it smoothly, and then we'll use different colors of the ready-to-use buttercream to create a tree along the side with some ornaments. And then we'll do a pink drip along the top. But definitely sign up for that next class. It's free. And I thank you guys for coming to my class today. I hope you enjoyed and learned some things about Isomalt and Isomelts. If you want to learn more, you can always reach out to us on social media. We're on Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, YouTube. If you go to our website, you'll find tons and tons of inspiration and product information. So definitely go on there to find out more information. And always you can contact us whenever. And thank you again for joining today's class. Have a great night.